This is Harry Judd for Boxing Social. We're at the Peninsula Golf driving range here in Greenwich. I'm delighted to be joined by Francis Warren, who's quite scared about the fella next to him putting some nice driving shots going.
Go a bit.
How'd it go yourself, mate? You look like a golfer.
Not yet. We'll have a go in a bit.
Look, huge card this weekend. Great domestic fights. Just go through the card for me quickly.
Obviously, top of we've got Zach and John in a fantastic fight. It's a WBO interim world title, and it's fighting for the right to hopefully take part in a mega fight next year with Canelo. That's been the aim for Zach for quite a while. It's just one more hurdle to jump over, and it's in the form of the beast, John Ryder, which is it's no easy task, but we're all very confident he can do it. Zach's been waiting for this opportunity for that big breakout fight for many years, and we're just delighted to have been able to get it for him. I know George worked hard to get this over the line with the guys at Matchroom, and delighted to deliver it for Zach on one of our cards on BT Sport, and it's supported by a fantastic undercard. Obviously Hamza, Dennis, Sam, Pierce O'Leary. It's a real bumper card for us, and really good way to not far off. Obviously we've got the big one next year, but to sign off a non-pay-per-view for the year. That's how I put it.
Well, it's been full steam ahead so far for Queensberry. I mean, last week another great domestic fight for Liam Davis, and obviously this weekend those Commonwealth title fights are huge for those young prospects.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Ham against Dennis McCann. It's a tough night for Dennis. He had his first title fight last time out against James Beach Jr. and slow start, but ended up doing the business and taking James apart. And James is obviously an old stalwart of the game, and said that that was a tough night's work for him. Obviously Hamza Shiraz and River Wilson Bent. That's another great fight. Hamza's slowly moving through the gears, and every time you see him, he's improving. I think this is only second or third fight at middleweight, so he's still coming into the weight. And I think if you give him another year, you'll get a real contender at world level there. Sam Noakes, a little knockout machine.
Big ticket seller as well.
Big ticket seller. Probably the nicest guy in boxing. He's an absolute delight. His whole family, and Sean. Obviously, Sean got another win the other week at York Hall. But they're terrific people, and just delighted to be able to deliver Sam a Commonwealth title in his 10th fight and going for that perfect 10 knockout. And Pierce O'Leary, another one of the boxing's good guys out the ring, but he's a bastard inside it. So looking forward to seeing him hopefully pick up his first title on Saturday.
Look, Dennis McCann, I've been aware of him even back in the Wrexham days when he won his youth championships in Banbury. Been around boxing for so long. But look, if he beats Joe Hammer on Saturday night, the Commonwealth belt is his, and perhaps maybe a chance. Liam Davis, is that a fight in the future that we're looking at?
It's definitely something in the future, but it's not the immediate future. I think you've got two guys there that can really build up a good following, good record, pick up some titles along the way. Our super bantamweight division within the organisation is huge. Obviously, you've got Andrew Kane as well, Brad Foster. I mean, obviously, Arnott Balut is still with us. Jason Cunningham. So there's lots of inter-organisational fights that can be made, and I think all the guys are pretty much up for it. So yeah, there's some good stuff to be done there.
Yeah, I know that's one that Liam Davis mentioned last week in Telford to me, the Jason Cunningham one. He mentioned that to me as well. But look, this is Zach's biggest test. John Ryland's been in with some huge names. Definitely
his biggest test, and. He's just got to look at what John's done. He took Billy Joe, to give Billy Joe a very tough night's work. The Callum Smith fight as well obviously sticks out. But yeah, Zach Parker, I think he's just a bit too big, bit too strong, but too fresh. I think this is his breakout fight that he needed.
Yeah, I mean, the inactivity, I guess, could play a huge part in this fight. Is that fight a potential fight in the future, or is that just gone now?
I can't comment on what Andrade wants to do, and we just focus on what Zach's the immediate task at hand is to get Zach a world title fight, and that's what's happened.
This is the interim to Canelo. Canelo's looking out to be out maybe for he'd say a warm-up fight in sort of May time. So this could be his chance at the WBO.
Let him think it's a warm-up fight. Don't tell him it's not.
But yeah, it's a huge opportunity.
Of course it is. You know, it's that's one of the current prizes in boxing as well as the Canelo fight, isn't it? It's a big occasion, and you know, but we're focused on what Zach Parker's doing on Saturday, and then we'll get all excited about that on Monday.
Huge night, Saturday night last week in Telford for Anthony Yarde and Liam Davis. Just go through Liam Davis' performance. It was, hard night's work, but he looked comfortable in there, Liam.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I've got a good relationship with Inu. I've looked after his last couple of fights, and I did say to him it was going to be a tough night's work if he didn't get his game plan right, and he didn't. But that's because basically I don't think Liam Davis would have allowed him to. Every time Inu came within range, Liam tagged him. Stuck to his jab, stuck to his game plan, and it's a textbook win for Liam, and he boxed terrifically.
Yarde, routine performance out Saturday night, but now the huge fight, January 28th against Beterbiev. How good is that to have that in the city of London?
No cuts and no niggles, that was the most important thing.
But I asked that he weren't worried about that at all. I said, is there a fear for you going into this fight? I said, no, it's just a game as it were.
Well, we'll win. You never know what having a clash of heads or something. But he come through it absolutely 100%, and we're on 28th of Jan. Brilliant, just brilliant. You could just sit here all afternoon and talk about that fight, but I think one word sums it up: it's brilliant. It's great.
Do you think some of the comments against Yarde in that fight is a bit unjust? Do you think some of the comments against Yarde?
He's got a world title fight against Beterbiev, so who cares? It's just crack on, mate. It's a terrific opportunity for him, and if the Yarde that turned up against the second fight against Lyndon Arthur turns up on that night, he's got every single chance of doing a job on him.
Next week, it's the big one. Tyson Fury, the big man's back, December 3rd. Any more news on other undercard fighters, or is it just, what's the news on that?
Not in a minute. We're going to put it out. Obviously, we don't want to detract away from this week, so that'll be out shortly. Actually, we'll get Matt over here. He'll probably let you know when he wants to put it out. Get the boss over.
Like, a huge fight. There has been some criticism in terms of that fight. I've been very vocal. I'm a fan of it. I think everyone's going to tune in to watch it. Tyson Fury is a huge star, but what do you make of some of the critics in this fight?
Again, people are going to watch, people are going to tune in. It's what do you want Tyson to go into? What potentially one of the biggest fights ever next year without a tune-up fight. It's not. Derek Chisora was the next available contender. That wanted the fight, and rather than slagging the fight off, give Derek some credit. Give Tyson some credit for putting on another show for everybody, because he's the greatest entertainer in boxing, and every time he comes out, everyone should be rubbing their hands, looking forward to it, not knocking it. So let's all put a positive smile on this and a positive face on this, and say what it is. It's going to be a great night's boxing.
It's a clear route to Usyk 2023, but obviously the news at the moment, the IBF have ordered that Usyk will fight Hrgovic. Just your opinion on whether that will be an impact or affect that fight happening with Usyk?
You'll have to catch up with George on that one. He's dealing with that, so just catch up with George later in the week on that one.
But if that is the case, Tyson's come out. If Joe Joyce is ready, we'll have that fight.
What a fight that would be. Great fight, so yeah.
No more comment on that one?
No. No, absolutely not.
So good at this. Look, and also news of Tommy Fury and Jake Paul. Just watch your head again. What are the discussions been with that one? It seems like this is the closest we've been so far in having that fight signed.
Again, it's
question for George, is it?
It's some moving parts on that one. So hopefully have some more info for you early next week for that.
Conversations being successful, or are they in a good mood? Where are they?
Well, they're good people. They're good people. Would talk to them. So all good.
Cards close to your chest today. It's great. Francis, thanks to Books and Social, mate. Top man. And you. Well done.